Welcome back to CBS Mornings. By now, you've likely seen the video. Tampa Bay Bucks wide receiver Antonio Brown stripping off his jersey in the middle of a game after a confrontation with his coach, walking off the field and walking out on his teammates. Brown says he was cut for refusing to play on an injured ankle. Coach Bruce Arians tells a different story. So we reached out to Antonio to get his side. In his first broadcast TV interview, I spoke with him not just as a journalist, but as a former player, someone who could have been his teammate on the sidelines, watching him walk away into that tunnel. Antonio Brown, how you doing?
Feel good.
I don't mean how you doing in the casual sense, genuinely. Like, how are you doing?
I mean, I try to keep myself good, but, you know, it's a fight. You know, life is a fight. Everything you go through is a fight.
On the football field, Antonio Brown is a fighter and considered one of the greatest wide receivers of his generation. Off the field,
he should be ashamed of himself.
He's a team destroyer.
He is the kind of player I would never, ever want to play for.
He's a lightning rod for controversy. After his 9-season run with the Pittsburgh Steelers came to an abrupt end in late 2018, Brown carouseled around the league. In addition to rocky relationships with NFL owners and coaches, Brown also faced legal trouble, accused of sexual assault by a former trainer. Brown denies that claim. He settled with his accuser out of court. In 2020, he pleaded no contest to felony charges of burglary and battery after an incident involving a moving truck driver. And Brown was also suspended by the league late last year after allegations surfaced that he obtained a fake COVID vaccination card. And then there was this. As you leave the field, playing against the New York Jets, I want to know what happened from halftime all the way up until that confrontation with Bruce Arians.
So leading up to that week, I'm like, I walked through Wednesday and I'm like, yo, I ain't got it. Let the trainer know, like, yo, man, I'm hobbling, like, I really can't get it going. So I let the coach know, training staff, everyone. I wake up Sunday morning, we have a walkthrough with Tom. I get to the game. You know, we playing the game. So now it's like the third quarter. I'm on the bench, like, yo, I can't go. I see the coach, like, he looked back like he came to me, so I'm thinking maybe he gonna come and ask me, like, yo, what it is. He came like, could you go? I'm like, nah, I can't go. So he like, yo, get the out of here. You done.
Just to be clear, you would not force a player to play.
You can't force a player to play. You can't force a player to play. I mean, they have that choice. It's their body.
Bucks coach Bruce Arians says the incident on the field during the Jets game wasn't about an injury and was unaware Brown was hurt. Arians says Brown was angry about something else.
I then went back, approached him about what was going on. I ain't playing. What's going on? I ain't getting the ball. That's when I said, you're done. Get the F out of here.
And there were also whispers about incentives and maybe some details within your contract that frustrated you as well.
No, it don't frustrate me. Like last year, I knew coming into the league, I was gonna have to be on a prove-it deal, earn it type deal.
Right.
And like, if I could play, wouldn't you think I'd be in the game trying to make the money?
And you'll be able to get those incentives.
Exactly. So like, my incentives are performance-based. So I have to go out and perform to earn it.
Right.
So, I mean, I got close, but it's like, yo, what, I'm gonna risk my ankle?
How did you feel in that moment when he said
in that moment, I'm like, yo, I don't even want to be a part of this no more, man. I don't want to wear your uniform. In my mind, for the coach that, you know, I go to war with, I just text him I'm hurt, that I'm trying to still suck it up, to go to war for you.
Right.
And like here in the midst of the battle, you telling me get the hell out of here, like I'm done.
This MRI from October was shared with CBS News by Brown and his legal team. Allegedly taken by Bucks team doctors, it shows loose bone fragments and a detached ligament in Brown's ankle. You said originally they told you that the ankle injury was so bad that it should have been non-weight bearing for how long?
6 to 12 weeks.
6 to 12 weeks. So you came back sooner than expected.
Yes.
Now, where do you stand currently with the organization?
Well, the organization don't got no loyalty, man. These guys played me while I was hurt, knowingly, and they needed it because their guys got hurt.
Brown and his attorney tell CBS News the team approached him with an offer of around $200,000 to check himself into a mental health treatment regimen. I have a question for you, and you can answer this however you want to, if you want to.
Yeah.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental health condition, and do you believe that has been a factor in any of these public incidents?
I never had a mental health diagnosis, like, you know what I mean? Like, I never had an issue or problem. I don't take pills. I just got a high IQ.
I'm an advocate
Yeah.
for therapy. Do you have a therapist in your life?
I mean, I tried it through the NFL, but I don't really got time to consult with random people I don't know about my mental space or how I look at things. Most of the people from different forms of the world, like I'm from the pit. Most of the people we talk to, they from the palace. So how your lenses look at life is not how mine is.
I don't need to go into details, but there's public incidents,
Tell me.
lawsuits against you.
Yes.
These teams that you joined and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
I bring all of that up.
Yes.
Not to squarely place the blame on your shoulders, but to ask you, is there something you could have done differently? Do you take responsibility?
Yeah.
Do you look in the mirror and say, you know what? I was out of pocket in this situation.
Yeah. I feel like, man, everything I did because my heart believed that was what I needed to do. And in life, sometimes you gotta listen to your heart because that's the only way I could go to sleep at night. What I believe in my heart, in my eyes, and how I look at things and things I did, I think they all provoked me to be in this position I'm in.
You had this tremendous run with the Steelers.
Yeah.
It doesn't end the way people expected.
Yeah.
You go to Oakland, that doesn't work out. You go to New England, that doesn't work out.
Yeah.
You land in Tampa, do win a ring,
Yeah.
but as we see right now, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
For people that say the common denominator is Antonio,
Yeah.
what do you say to that?
I always did what's best for me. I mean, that's what it is.
Now, lawyers for Antonio Brown tell CBS News they have overwhelming evidence to pursue legal action against the Bucs. We reached out to the Buccaneers for comment on Brown's claims, and they pointed us to a statement from earlier this month, in part saying, while Antonio did receive treatment on his ankle and was listed on the injury report the week leading up to last Sunday's game, he was cleared to play by our medical team prior to the start of the game. And at no point during the game did he indicate to our medical personnel that he could not play.
So
He seems to tell a different story, though, Nate.
It really does, and so does the MRIs.
Yeah.
So him and the team agrees. At one point, it was said, "Get off the field, you're done." But they disagree about what brought them to that moment.
Right. And I feel like Antonio Brown was wrong, and I told him that on multiple occasions when we were sitting down. I feel like he has a problem with conflict resolution, especially in public. But, you know, he does have a point to make when it comes to being thrown out there if you don't feel like he can play. And he dispels the fact that people say, well, this is all about money. I wanted my catches. He said, Nate, well, if incentives are performance-based,
Why
wouldn't I want to
play?
go out there and
Yeah.
perform and earn that money?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I was stumped. And I said, okay, well, then what was it about? He said, my body.
Yeah. He also clearly disputes anyone that thinks he has a mental health issue.
Yeah.
He said, listen, when he says, no, I don't have a mental health issue, I have a high IQ, what do you think he meant by that in terms of how he handled this situation?
I was shocked by how orchestrated some of these breakups, that's what I call relationships with teams, some of these breakups were. He was telling me how he was on the phone with not just the coaches, the GMs, but the owners before he was released or traded. And I didn't know that about Antonio and him leaving Pittsburgh and Oakland, that he had conversations with people making major decisions. So he's a lot smarter than people think, but I do feel like he needs to take more responsibility for his actions because a lot of this could have been avoided if he would have done things differently.
He seems to be sleeping easy. He says he was listening to his heart, and that's what you got to do. So, all right, great interview, Nate. Really
Thank
good.
you.